YouTubes! Welcome back, Haunt Fam. So this year I want to do a project I did last year, but I didn't record. I've had a bunch of requests for it, so I figured, okay, I'll go ahead and shoot a video and show you guys how I did last year's. Only this year it'll be different. This is called a snowman present stack, or snowman present tower. You basically need 3 cardboard boxes of any size. You can pre-wrap your kiddos' gifts and put them inside, or you could do socks and underwear, you could do candy, you could do all kinds of stuff, doesn't matter. But it's a great way to keep kids from snooping. You know, they like to peel up the end of the tape and they look at the box of your present and see what it is. Or they take a toothpick and they poke a hole in the wrapping paper and then they pull it up and look in there real close so they can see what the present is. I heard all that on the internet. It's a great way to keep kids from snooping. It's a cool project, only we're going to do ours super freaking creepy. We're not doing the little cutesy towers that they make. And I've got a pretty thick white birch wrapping paper. The wrapping paper, you can use anything you want. This is pretty heavy, thick stuff. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these guys and put all the seams in the back so our faces are nice and clean with less folds and stuff. So we're going to come back and I'm going to show you guys how to make a Santa snowman present stack. Okay, YouTube, so I made 2 trips today. Went to the dollar store, went to the forest, also known as outside my shop. I picked up a bunch of dead sticks that I kind of just could break up by hand. They're a little bit lighter than like green wood. And I got a set of gloves and a couple other things for this guy later on down the road. So I want to go ahead and work on arms. We're going to work on our center section. We're all wrapped up. I'm happy with that. We got pretty clean seams in the front. So we're going to go ahead and work on arms first. Our glue gun's fired up. I want to take some of these pieces of wood, and I want to make some arms for this guy. Now this is probably a little heavy for this guy. I definitely want to make some thinner arms, and if you're lucky you can find a bend in the branch and use that as an arm, so that might be a possible viability. Hey, that's not too damn bad. I don't mind that. I'm going to go ahead and mix and match some wood though. I want to make a forearm, and I want to make a bicep. And I want to go ahead and hot glue them together. Again, all this stuff's going to go in the trash. The kids destroy, rip it apart for Christmas morning. You don't want to put anything long-term into it. If you're going to keep these arms long-term, maybe stick them outside on a snowman or something like that, then I would use baling wire and wrap them together and keep them. And then use the heavier stuff. So these are all kind of like deadwood, lightweight stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make some arms, glue them together, and then I'm going to show you how we attach them to the box. Okay, YouTubes. So I went through my wood pile, I picked out arms. We're going to make this his left arm. This is going to be his little forearm. I went ahead and hot glued 2 of the pieces together, so like the 2 bones in your forearm. So we'll end up getting this one ready to go on the left-hand side. I went ahead and picked out the right-hand side. I thought this guy was pretty gnarly and kind of bent, so he'll kind of wing around in front of our little snowman. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to line this up, glue this guy on, and get this arm ready to glue on. And then for hands, like I said, I went to the Dollar Tree earlier. I got a pair of these 2 for $1 gloves. I thought the red were kind of cool, that's different. So my plan is to go ahead and use the rest of the sticks, and we're going to cut the fingers off. And you can cut off as much little as you want. You could use mittens, you don't even have to do gloves if you don't want. And I'm going to take some of these smaller pieces of branch and bust them into smaller pieces, and I'm going to glue these in the fingers of the gloves. So he'll have little branch hands. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done, get our other arm glued together, and then we're going to be ready to go to foam and do our arms on our middle section of our snowman tower stack. Okay, YouTube, so I've got our chest on its side. I've got our arm trimmed up and ready to get hot glued on. I've got our little gloves filled out with little stubby, nubby fingers. Got both pairs. We'll end up filling these with foam when we do the foam part next and putting these on the end of the sticks like our hands. So for the meantime, let's go ahead and hot glue our arm on. I got this guy kind of set back so the glove has a little bit room to kind of hover in the middle. So we're just going to go ahead and glue it on, which is why, again, I used thicker wrapping paper. Try and hit it in a couple of spaces. And we're going to go ahead and next, after our arms are glued on, we're going to go ahead and foam them on to give them a little bit more grabbing power. But for now, the hot glue will basically hold us in place and keep us attached to our box. Okay, YouTube, so our little branch arms are glued on. We're ready to go ahead and move to Loctite foam. Now, I specifically said Loctite foam. I did not say Great Stuff foam, but I can hear it now. But cobwebs, I got 47 cans of Grape Stuff in stock that I need to use. No, don't use Grape Stuff. Go ahead and use Loctite. It's firmer, it packs denser, and it's white. You ain't got to paint it. You ain't to worry about it expanding before the kids rip this apart on Christmas morning. So we're going to use Loctite foam to fill our little glove hands. We'll shoot it right in the back and we'll slide them on. We got about 15 minutes to play with this stuff. I really don't want to wet this down. I've done a bunch of Loctite videos, you guys, like my Demon Skull video. I'll link that one below just in case you guys want to learn how to like sculpt foam. But we're going to go ahead and use Loctite foam to kind of fill in. We're going to go up on top a little bit to give us some little hanging power. And we're just going to make it look like snow, man. A little bit here. You do a little bit on the arm, make it look like snow is sitting on his arm. Cover up our shoulder, and we'll go a little bit up on top so that we've got some support up here on top of the shoulders, on top of the box. So I'm going to do both sides, and then I'll probably go ahead and smash it down and foam it a little bit and play with it. And I'm going to fill the gloves and get the gloves on. So we come back, our shoulders and arms should just about be done. We'll be ready to move on to something else, man. Okay, YouTube, so while our snowman's puffing up, we're going to go ahead and make a carrot nose for him. We're just going to use Loctite. I'll let it puff up, and then I'll go ahead and sculpt this and make a little lightweight nose out of it, and it'll end up being a little carrot. So we'll make it extra because we're going to smash it down. Okay, YouTubes, let's talk about our snowman head. So our nose is finished up. This is just the Loctite foam. I'm going to take this outside, and I'll spray paint it in the orange color, and then I'll probably do a little black wash on it or something. For eyeballs, man, there's a ton of routes you guys could go. You could wad up tin foil and make it look like traditional coal. You could take the ornaments, cut them in half, paint the back sides and glue those on. You could do cabochons of any style. For my route, I decided to go with a pair of glow-in-the-dark resin eyes. I make these, I think they're pretty cool, and I just want to mess with the cats. So these guys glow in the dark, so I'm going to glue these guys on. We'll have our nose, and again, the options are endless. For a hat, you can do so many things. I think I'm going to go with the traditional a top hat for this guy. You can put a Santa hat on there. You can put earmuffs on top of them. It's basically anything you guys want to put on. So, also for the mouth, I want to do I want to do a mouth that sticks out. I don't want to just do a little painted line or some construction paper. You know, we don't really do that crap here. And I also want to do some teeth. So since I got the hot glue gun fired up, I figured I'd make up a bunch of teeth just out of hot glue, since again, this is just going to be kind of like a throwaway project. So I'm going to go ahead and leave some hot glue tails on these guys so I can go ahead and glue in the mouth. They don't have to be pretty. You can just make a bunch up, it don't matter. Before they cool, if you want to sharpen them or cut them down. You could also use sticks. You could use tinfoil pieces wadded up to look like coal. But yeah, just pump out some teeth, so we'll have plenty to use. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and glue on my eyeballs. And then we're going to foam in our eyes and our mouth. We'll add our teeth when our teeth cool off. Okay, YouTube, so our eyes are glued on, our hot teeth are cooled off. I went ahead and just trimmed them with scissors. They look great. You can go as crazy or as much as you want. Normally I would never use hot glue for teeth because hot glue is basically trash. But since this is going to be a disposable project, it's okay to go ahead and use hot glue for the teeth this time. I do want to go ahead and do sort of like this, the arms and the hands. I want to make them some eyelids because I want to kind of make them like a little sculpted mouth. And a big mouth down here, and we'll plug our teeth in after, 10-15 minutes after the foam cools or hardens up. So we're going to go not too crazy, but just something a little bit different. Alright. And then we'll do our mouth. And we got to leave room for our nose too, so once this hardens up, we'll go ahead and start plugging teeth into it once it firms up. Okay, YouTube, so our little face is done. I just went ahead and added some alcohol ink stain to the face to bring the eyes out, his teeth and stuff, so he looks pretty freaking gnarly, man. I'm pretty happy with him. He looks pretty creepy. And that's a little bit of black perma-goo. You could use paint or anything, it don't matter. I might even give this a shot of gloss clear to make him look kind of slimy and wet. But we're overall done with the face, I think. Carrot turned out pretty good. Definitely want to put a hat on this guy. So I've got a bunch of like felt pieces and stuff. And again, you guys could do, like I said, anything. You could do earmuffs. You could do a Santa hat, cut it and put a Santa hat on. You could do, a stocking cap. You could leave him bald if you wanted to. But since the kids are just going to destroy it, I'm going to give our creepy little guy a classic Santa hat. I'm not even going to take the damn tag off. good enough. And I'll just cut around, kind of round it off. Again, ain't gotta be perfect. He's a creepy Santa. I think the kids will totally love this. I know Savage does. Then again, we can run the heat gun over it later to open it up, like you guys seen my little gnomes. The heat gun totally opens up felt, looks freaking awesome. I got, what, 2 pieces here? Wonder if I can make a little hat. Something like that. Yeah. Then I'll wrap this piece around, and I'll hot glue it from the inside. So he'll have a hat. I'll put a little topper on it, and I think I'm going to do a burlap strap across mine too. So I'll cut a little piece of this burlap and give him a little ring around the hat. And again, the creepier the better. So we'll do burlap. And you could, again, do anything. If you want to do like a little birdie poking out of his hat, well, you know, ones with actual heads on them. You could put a birdie in his hat, which I may do. Maybe I'll paint a birdie black, or maybe I'll leave a white one because it shows up against the black hat. But I think I'm going to go ahead and knock out his hat. I'll hot glue that into place. His head will basically be done. And then our last thing I want to do is our scarf and our buttons. So I'll knock this guy out. When we come back, I'll show you the buttons. Okay, YouTubes. So for buttons, ton of options. You could use the actual buttons from the Dollar Tree, the big buttons, and glue them on. You could use wadded up tin foil and make it look like traditional coal and just spray paint these black and glue them right on. You know, really cheap, fast. It actually looks like coal. You know, it's all faceted. But I thought, yeah, you know, for me, I got to take it a step further. So I used some the Super Sculpey Primo. This stuff is just color. It's bakeable clay. And I decided, what the hell, I'm going to sculpt 3 little coal skulls. So I got one bigger one for the bottom, one medium-sized guy for the top, and these I just went in the oven and got baked. And then one little bitty guy for the very top. Oh boy, he got some sugar in this tank. So I'm going to go ahead and use skulls for this, and then maybe after Christmas and Savage opens it up, I'll mold them and maybe put them in my Etsy store or something. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and glue these guys onto the body. That way our buttons will be done. And the last thing I have for this guy to accessorize is a scarf. So again, at the Dollar Tree, when I bought the gloves, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this guy up. It's super thin, raggedy looking, I don't know, what is this, plaid or something like that. It should heat gun really cool and be all gnarly. So we can go ahead and destroy this. Oh yeah, it's already better. Ooh, you hear that ripping? Ooh, I love it. And then let's see, heat gun should pretty much eat this stuff alive. Oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. It's already curling up and nasty if we put some holes in it. Oh yeah, that's cool. Alright, YouTubes. Like I said, there's a ton of options you guys can do with these things. I'm going to use a traditional scarf. I'm going to glue these buttons on. And the next time we see this little Christmas cretin, he's going to be under the Christmas tree, and I'll show you guys an up-close look at him. Okay, YouTubes, our little Christmas cretin is done. I went ahead and dusted some of that window snow right on top of him. I put a little dollar store birdie in his head. I just painted it red and made it a little cardinal. Got some just junk rope that I had to use as a base for his hat. With a piece of burlap scraps I had. His eyes are just resin half domes I poured up as blanks for when I'm making monsters or masks. Plus, they glow in the dark. How cool is that? We used a can of Loctite foam for his nose and his eyes. His teeth are just hot glue with a little perma-grime back there. It's a Dollar Tree scarf that I just shredded. Put Savage's name tag on there. We got our little polymer clay, or Primo clay, skull buttons. Oh look, he's even holding a little headless elf from the Dollar Tree. So his arms look like branches with snow on top of them. So they kind of look like bones. Look at his other hand dangling down, same thing. And his scarf goes all the way around behind his head. And then with the last little bit of Loctite foam I had, I just put some little shoes on the bottom of him. So this way, from head to toe, he's done, man. I'm really kind of happy with him. He turned out way better than last year's. This is what I guess you call a snowman present tower or gift tower or something like that. So, Christmas morning, Savage can tear that thing apart. Okay, YouTubes, so that's our snowman gift tower. We use basically just a bunch of dollar store crap, some really cheap odds and ends. Resinizing this guy, we use hot glue teeth, Loctite foam, about $6 a can. And we made some polymer clay buttons, put those dollar store touches on them, and man, he's done. I think he looks awesome. I'd like to make an army of these guys. So Christmas morning, Savage, come out here and tear them apart and destroy them and get to the gifts inside. But it was cool, man. It's a fun, just a couple of hours of messing around with some dollar store cheap crap that you can throw away. It can all go in the trash with the wrapping paper. So if you guys get a chance, go check out my brothers in the Trio of Terror. Go see Dave over at the Weird Kids Show and Vic over at Monster Misfits. Guys, we pretty much do Halloween year-round. We're always up to something or scheming or plotting. But yeah, I'd like to see if anyone wants to do this. Man, share your pictures of your snowmen on the Cobwebs and Candlesticks group on Facebook. It's always linked below for you guys. But yeah, you guys build one? I want to see what you guys do with your touches and your little options and stuff you put on them. So I hope you guys have a nice Christmas. Merry Christmas from our family to yours. And until we meet again, keep it evil. Always. God, this hat's making me friggin' sweat. Ain't gonna be perfect. In about 15 minutes, I can start playing with that and hand sculpting it into the shape of a carrot. And I can cut it down and we'll paint it later. Whoa! Woo! Bad. Bad, 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 bad.